So today we're doing a beginner's guide to utilizing Cash App Invest, and we're going to be doing it directly here on our phone. Now, you don't need to see my face throughout this video, so we're going to go ahead and go off screen here so you can just see the phone in its entirety as we go through this. Now, obviously, keeping in mind, this is going to be with an iOS device. Android might look a little bit different. So let's go ahead and get started here today. So we're on the homepage of our Cash App account. And on the bottom left-hand side over here on the screen, you're going to see where it shows $5. Now, if you don't have any money in this account, it's going to show a little bank icon for you. And if you go ahead and click in this section, it's going to show you the way to go ahead and add money into your account so we can go ahead and do some purchases with our stocks. Now, here's something we want to keep in mind. I'm actually recording this on a weekend while we're going through this, so I'm actually going to show you what it's like to pretty much do these things off of the market times. So when the market does open, they will go ahead and go through for you to be able to make these purchases on any stocks you want to buy. Now, by the way, as we're going through this, if you for some reason don't already have Cash App, the link will be in the show notes down below for you to go ahead and sign up. You do get that free $5 for utilizing our link, and you get more free content just like this, so that way I can keep doing what I do. So also here on this same page, this is where you're going to see the stocks option for you over here. You can see it says invest with $1. Now, something to keep in mind, I've already went through the process and utilized this as well. So it might ask you a few additional questions while you're going through and setting everything up. Most of it should be filled out for you when you go ahead and create your Cash App account to begin with. So it shouldn't be too much of a tedious task to get to this screen right over here, which is going to go ahead and allow us to start buying some things on the Cash App account. Now, we want to break some things down here for us on screen. First and foremost, we can actually go ahead and search for stocks and categories up here at the top. So if you know the company you want to be purchasing, like Nvidia or Apple, you can just type in those companies directly up here at the top of the screen. Now, we're going to get a little ahead of ourselves here, but if for any reason you see these three little dots and you're kind of curious what this will do for you, I'm going to show you on this screen. You're going to get to be able to do stock alerts here for you, as well as reinvesting any dividends that you get in this account. Now, the thing that this will be helpful for is if companies pay out a dividend, which is profit sharing with you as the shareholder, you can have those dividends reinvested, which is a very powerful way to go ahead and actually compound your earnings. Now, if you have this off, those dividends will actually get paid into your Cash App account. So you can have the choice of having this toggled on or off. All right, so let's go ahead and head back over here to the main section of the actual account. We're gonna go ahead and scroll down here just a little bit so you can see a couple different things. First and foremost, it'll have some news right over here for you, as well as different sections that we can go ahead and actually choose from if we wanna go ahead and find companies within food and drink, within health, media and entertainment, and so on and so forth. Now, if you keep scrolling down here, you're gonna see the most traded stocks in the actual stock market. You can keep swiping to see more and more companies. If any of them look appealing to you, like let's say Netflix, for example, you can go ahead and just click on Netflix and it'll take you to their homepage, which we're going to go ahead and break a little bit more about this in just a moment. Now, if you scroll down here just a little bit more back on this main page, you're going to see the biggest movers of the day, whether it's going up or down. Again, you can kind of just keep swiping over here to go ahead and see all these different companies. And at the very bottom here, there are going to be some little learning tools if you want to learn a little bit more. But of course, we're going to get you covered here for the majority of what you need to know to get started with investing on Cash App. All right, so now let's go ahead and scroll back up to the very top of the screen here for us. And you can see the section that says buy stocks. If you click right over here, it's going to take you to a section that just kind of breaks things down a little bit more for you, whether you want to trade individual stocks like up here at the very top, or if you want to do ETFs right over here at the bottom for you as well. Now, ETFs are just a group of stocks kind of pretty much put together for you. Makes it a little bit easier if you are not one to actually be investing into individual companies. But for today's example, we are going to go ahead and keep scrolling down here for us. So you can see here, there's also sections where these stocks pay out dividends, and then as well as those individual sections that we saw earlier as well. Now, here at the very top of the screen, or close to the top, we can actually see categories, performance, and advanced right over here as well too. So this will actually allow you to go ahead and break down different types of stocks. They usually call this stock screening, so you can choose the type of stocks you are looking for. But that's if you want to go ahead and go further. But for our example here today, we're just going to go ahead and choose one stock we want to purchase by going ahead and clicking at the top here, and we're going to go ahead and type in the company for us, which is actually going to be SoFi right over here for us. Now for SoFi, you can see this chart right over here. It is currently set to 1 day, but you can go ahead and switch it to 1 week, 1 month, and 1 year, and you can see its performance. Now you actually don't see the stock price right here, but if you actually click on the screen anywhere here, you can start seeing the stock price and a little bit more detail of the actual graph on how it is performing. Now, if you're not ready to buy a stock, you can always click the follow button over here, and it'll kind of show up for you and keep you up to date with the news of how it's performing over a certain period of time. There is also going to be a gift button right over here. You can gift this stock over to other friends and family members that are on your Cash App account. And then we're going to go to the buy section now, because this is going to be a company we want to go ahead and purchase. Now, one thing to keep in mind is if we saw back earlier, the stock price of SoFi right now is $7.93, and we only have $5 in our account. But the beauty on Cash App is it is going to allow you to invest with as little as $1, and you have what they call fractional shares of these companies. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So if we click on the buy button here for us, we could choose any denomination that we would like. Obviously, if it's more than what we have in our account, it will pull from whatever bank we have on file, which if you need to know how to do that, we'll have a tutorial on how to add a bank account on file for Cash App, so no worries there. And then from here, what we can do is go ahead and change our order type. So from here, we can have it auto invest on a regular basis, or we can go ahead and just purchase it as is in real time, which is always great for us to go ahead and do if we don't really have to worry too much about timing the market here. So for our example here today, we're going to click on the $1 because I want to show you this. We're going to go ahead and click on this next button now that it's highlighted. It's going to do our little Face ID here for us, and it's going to take us to this section here, and it's going to give us some information. So first and foremost, it's going to tell us the approximate share price, which is $8, and this will fluctuate, which means we might be buying it a little bit more or a little bit less than this price point. And then we talked about fractional shares, and this is where you see approximate shares. This is 1.25% or 1.25 shares of this company. And what that means is, since we're only paying with $1 of our total funds, we're actually getting a small portion of this company. But what's really great is if we keep buying, let's say $1 every single day or a week, whatever we can do, this will add up the total amount of shares to either one full share or eventually start building up to multiple shares of these companies. And it's a really powerful thing if you're starting out with a very small dollar amount. Now, here's a really great thing as well too. You can see over here with the fees, there are no fees for doing just the $1 at a time. So if that's all you can do, go for it. Get started with investing a small dollar amount. Now, like I mentioned, we're doing this on a weekend, and we're actually doing it on a Labor Day weekend. So you can see the next market open will be on a Tuesday at 6:30 a.m. for our current time. So what this is actually saying for us now is to go ahead and schedule. And if we were doing during the market open, this will go ahead and have a buy option for us. So both options are going to take us to the same place. Obviously, for having it scheduled, it will go in at the next time that the market is open for us. So we're going to click on schedule. And you can see it says your $1 to purchase SoFi will be placed on that time. We can click on done. And then right over here, you see that we went down to $4, which means that they already have that $1 in place to get ready to purchase this SoFi stock when the market opens. Obviously, if you're doing it in real time, you will have ownership of the stock relatively quickly once that goes through for you. And you will see it on the main page of your Cash App Invest section. So if we go all the way back here, it's going to show us over here which stocks that we actually have. You can see it's currently pending right now for us, again, since we are having this done over the weekend. But it's nice to know that we don't have to wake up at 6:30 in the morning to have that trade go through. Now, obviously, right now, as of this recording, we don't actually own any shares in this portfolio for us. But if we did, we can actually go ahead and go into that company. And then there's going to be the sell option, which we can go ahead and pretty much do the same thing like we did with our buy, to go ahead and sell any of the shares that we have of the companies that we own based off the dollar amount that we want to sell off of, or if we want to sell all the shares we have for that particular company. Now, anytime you sell a company that you currently have ownership in, that money will get deposited right into your Cash App account, so you can go ahead and buy other stocks with, as well as being able to withdraw. Sometimes that might take a day or two to go through once you sell, to be able to withdraw that money from your Cash App account. Now, like I mentioned earlier, if you do not already have Cash App, we'll have a link for you in the show notes down below. That does help us out so we can make more free content just like this for you. And speaking of free content, I'm actually going to have my video right over here to show you how to make sure you add a bank account on file into your Cash App account.